Static coils deep in the fractured air. Bass lines rumble with a coated snare. Lead tones spiral in a tightened spin, pulling every signal to the core within. Hi-hat snap like a sharpened thread. Patterns cross paths where the circuits spread. Rise and climb slow in a crawling sweep, dragging every moment from the system's deep. Pulse divergence cutting through the haze, shifting all the waves in electric phase. Riding on the force where the voltage plays, lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Whoa. Kick drum cracks in a rapid splice, rhythm surge loud like a mirrored slice. Vocal shards drift in a filtered wave, folding into echoes that the shadows crave. Breakdown thins out like a cooling flame, silence holds tight in a suspended frame. Then the lift bursts back in a sudden strike, pulling every fragment into perfect sync. Pulse divergence cutting through the haze, shifting all the waves in electric phase. Riding on the force where the voltage plays, lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Oh. Lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Oh. Waveforms bend in a flickered glow, fading slow into the undertow. But the pulse remains in a hidden line, waiting for the next loop to realign. Sharp in the rising beat, bass kicks heavy in a looping heat. Lit notes streaking a metallic glide, pulling all the tension to the system side.
Hi-hats scatter like a silver rain, rhythms twist tight in a moving chain. Rhythm breathes slow in a stretched incline, ramping up the pressure in a narrow line.
Voltage stride tearing through the night, flashing every frame in a driven light. Riding on the spark of a coded flight, locked inside the surge where the waves ignite. and drift. Silence shifts slow like a fading lift. Then the build strikes hard in a rising blaze, pulling every cycle back into the phase. Voltage stride tearing through the night, flashing every frame in a driven light. Riding on the spark of a coded flight, locked inside the surge where the waves ignite.
Like a thinning veil, yet the charge remains in a dormant glow, waiting for the next strike to overflow.
Static sparks drift in a crimson tone, low when pressure shakes the circuit bone. Sin waves ripple in a woven slide, pulling every fragment to the inner tide. Patterns loop tight in a mirrored spin, hi-hat sliced in where the beats begin. Risers curl slow in a rising flare, tension drawing closer in the loaded air. From the circuits deep, 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 deep. Pulse over fire blazing through the night, twisting every shadow into shards of light, running with the charge of a shifting stream, lost within the rhythm of a driving dream. Signals drift out in a bending glow, trailing through the dark in a steady flow. But the pulse still waits in the hidden line, ready for the surge when the beats align. fracture cutting through the frame, splitting all the noise like a wild flame, riding on the break of a warped domain, lost inside the drift where the waves unchain. Kick drum bursts in a jagged slam, rhythm shatters sharp like a metal can, vocal shards shimmer in a drifting haze, falling into patterns where the circuits blaze. Breakdown sing slow like a drain machine, silence trembling thin in a ghost-like sheen. Then the burst ignites with a sharp recoil, dragging every signal back from the boil. Signal fracture cutting through the frame, splitting all the noise like a wild flame, riding on the break of a warped domain, lost inside the drift where the waves unchain. Frequencies fade in a trailing spark, falling like dust through the hollow dark. But the signal hides in a silent seam, waiting for the surge to reawaken. Cling, 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 cling. Oh.
Voltage hums deep in a midnight glide, bass crawls heavy from the system side, lead lines shimmer in a looping twine, pulling all the echoes into one design. Hi-hats flick like an electric rain, rhythms punch sharp in a coded chain, rises shift slow in a rising thread, tension creeping close as the moment spread. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze, riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays.
In a rapid burst, patterns crash loud in a tangled thirst, vocal fragments cut in a filtered glide, drifting through the noise where the shadows hide. Breakdown melts soft like a dying spark, silence holds thin in the breathing dark, then the lift revives in a sudden climb, pulling every motion back into the time. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze, riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze, riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays.
Fade out in a whisper line, trailing through the void in a slanted shine. But the night still hums in a silent spin, waiting for the current to rise again.
Pressure snaps deep where the pulses crack. Baseline growls low, pulling shadows back. Lead drones tunnel in a frozen sweep, dragging every heartbeat from the deep. Hi-hats flicker like a frantic sign. Rhythms punch holes through the tide and line. Riser climbs slow in a burning rise, filling every second with electrified skies. Core collapse, tearing down the grid, shaking every wall till the edges skid. Riding on the blast like a force unhid, lost inside the push where the sound outbid. Kick hits roaring in a molten blast. Patterns break fast like a system cast. Vocal cracks echo in a flaring streak, ripping through the void where the signals peak. Breakdown drifts thin like a hollow wave. Silence holding tight as the beat behaves. Then the strike erupts with the blinding flare, pulling every fragment back through the air. Core collapse, tearing down the grid, shaking every wall till the edges skid. Riding on the blast like a force unhid, lost inside the push where the sound outbid. Glow falls faint in a dwindling tone, resting in the dust of the broken zone. Yet the core still hums in a hidden trace, waiting for the crash of the next embrace. Currents twist deep in the rising hum. Bass lines rumble like a distant drum. Lead synth spirals in a rapid chain, pulling every thought into its domain. Hi-hats flicker like electric code, patterns shifting in a heavy load. The riser stretches tight like a sealed command. Moments freeze in place as the pulses expand. Vector surge override, breaking the frame, cutting through distortion like a burning flame. Riding on the current of a fierce waveform, lost inside the drive where the circuits form. Kick bursts forward in a molten spark. Rhythms ricochet through the glowing dark. Vocal shards echo in a fractured sweep, slicing through the static where the signals lead. Breakdown softens like a fading glow. Silence curls around as the patterns slow. Then the lift ignites in a sudden blast, pulling every fragment back in a clash. Vector surge override, breaking the frame, cutting through distortion like a burning flame. Riding on the current of a fierce waveform, lost inside the drive where the circuits form. Echoes drift out into path it paves. Hi-hats crackle like a thermal spark. Pattern slice clean through the circuit's bark. Riser coils tight like a spark restraint. Tension fills the room where the sound remains. Neon fault line breaking from below, shattering the pulse in a sudden glow. Riding on the clash as the patterns throw. Lost inside the quake where the systems flow. Kick rolls pounding in a molten stride. Drums collide fast like a crashing tide. Vocal shards drift in a process sweep, ripping through the void where the shadows creep. Shadows creep. Shadow, 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 down hums soft like a dying beam. Silence folds thin like an empty dream. Then the burst hits hard with a laser strike, dragging all the chaos back into the spike. Neon fall line breaking from below, shattering the pulse in a sudden glow. Riding on the clash as the patterns throw. Lost inside the quake where the systems flow. Neon fall line breaking from below, shattering the pulse in a sudden glow. Riding on the clash as the patterns throw. Lost inside the quake where the systems flow. Fragments fade slow in a dwindling spark, trailing thin lines through the hollow dark. But the neon waits in a buried seam, ready to fracture through the next regime.